The journey of life. It is never too late to find your purpose. Welcome to the journey of life. Today, we're exploring a powerful truth. It is never late to find your true purpose in life. No matter where you are, what age you're at, or what mistakes you've made, your journey to meaning and fulfillment is always possible. Introduction. The concept of a deadline. We are born, we grow up, we go to school, we get a job, and we retire. This is the linear map society has drawn for us. It's a timeline with invisible deadlines. By 25, you should have your career figured out. By 30, you should be married. By 40, you should have a mortgage and stability. By 60, it's time to wind down. But what happens when you miss a deadline? What happens if you're 50 and you still don't know what you want to be when you grow up? What if you're 70 and feel a burning desire you've never acted on? Our culture often whispers a lie, that purpose has an expiration date. Today, we're going to dismantle that lie. We are going on a journey to understand that the path to meaning is not a straight line, but a winding road. And on that road, it is never, ever too late to find your purpose. 1. The myth of too late. Many believe that finding their purpose is a matter of youth, something to be done early before life slips away. But that's a myth. The truth is, purpose isn't a race with a finish line. It's a lifelong journey that you can start at any moment. Think about it. Some of the most inspiring stories are about people who found their purpose later in life. Grandma who starts painting, an executive who leaves the corporate world to serve others, or someone who finally writes their book. Purpose is timeless. 2. The myth of the overnight success. When we look at successful people, we tend to see the highlight reel. We see the book signing, the product launch, the award ceremony. We rarely see the decades of quiet struggle that came before. Consider Colonel Harlan Sanders, the face of Kentucky Fried Chicken. He is the epitome of a friendly, successful grandfather figure, but his story didn't begin in a boardroom. For most of his life, he was a failure by societal standards. He was a farmhand, a streetcar conductor, a soldier, and a lawyer who got into a courtroom brawl. He started cooking chicken for travelers at his gas station in his 40s. He perfected his recipe, but the interstate highway system was built, bypassing his restaurant. He was broke. At the age of 65, he took his Social Security check, a check meant to signal the end of his working life, and used it as capital. He drove across the country in his battered car, sleeping in the back seat, pitching his chicken recipe to restaurant owners. He was rejected 1,009 times before one person said yes. His purpose wasn't found in the stability of a single job. It was forged in the rejection of his 60s. At an age where most people are told to slow down, he was just getting started. The myth of the overnight success is just that, a myth. For most, the overnight takes a lifetime. 3. The psychology of too late. So why do we feel it's too late? Why does a birthday candle or a new wrinkle make us feel like our window of opportunity is closing? It's a trap of the mind. We look in the rearview mirror at the time we've wasted. We think, if I had started at 20, I'd be an expert by now. But we forget that at 20, we didn't have the experience, the resilience, or the clarity we have now. There is a psychological phenomenon called the sunk cost fallacy. We feel we've invested so much time in one path that it's too late to turn back. We'd rather be unhappy on a familiar road than risk happiness on an unknown one. But science gives us hope. Neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to form new neural connections, continues throughout our lives. You can teach an old dog new tricks. The only thing that makes it too late is the belief that it is. To find your purpose later in life, you must first forgive yourself for the time you spent not knowing it. You must accept that those years weren't wasted. They were your education. They were the prologue to your purpose. 4. The spark. Recognizing the glimmer. Purpose rarely arrives with a bang. It usually arrives as a whisper, a quiet interest, a curiosity, a lingering thought in the back of your mind. For some, it's a hobby they've loved since childhood, but dismissed as just a hobby. For others, it's a problem they see in the world that makes them angry or sad. That anger, that sadness is a compass pointing towards your purpose. Think about Grandma Moses. She was a farmer's wife who suffered from arthritis. She couldn't do her beloved embroidery anymore. At the age of 78, her hands hurt too much to hold a needle, but they could hold a paintbrush. She started painting simple scenes of rural life. She didn't do it for fame. She did it because she had to. She found joy in the act. By her 80s, her art was being shown at the Museum of Modern Art. She didn't find her purpose in her youth. It found her in her old age. The spark is always there. We just have to stop stomping it out with the voice that says, "You're too old for that." 5. The fear equation. If the spark is there, what stops us? It's fear, a specific kind of fear that intensifies as we age. It's the fear of looking foolish, the fear of failing when people expect you to know better. But this is a lie. Failure is not a sign of stupidity, it's a sign of effort. The only true failure is allowing the fear of judgment to silence the calling of your soul. There is immense freedom that comes with age, the freedom of caring less about what other people think. That freedom is rocket fuel for purpose. You no longer have to prove anything to anyone. You can finally do it just for the love of doing it. And when you do it for love, you bring a depth of patience and wisdom to the craft that a 20-year-old simply cannot possess. Your age is not a weakness, it is your greatest strength. Overcoming fear and limiting beliefs. Fear and limiting beliefs hold many back. You might think, "It's too late for me," or "I missed my chance," but those thoughts are illusions. Every day is a new opportunity to challenge those beliefs. Your past does not define your future. The only limits are the ones you accept. Embracing change and new beginnings. It's never too late to change direction. Life is full of opportunities to reinvent yourself. Whether you're 30, 50, or 70, your next chapter can start today. Change can be intimidating, but it's also necessary. Often, the biggest breakthroughs come when we step out of our comfort zones. 10. Real-life stories of purpose found late in life. Let's look at some inspiring examples. Julia, who started her art career at 65 and now sells her paintings worldwide. Robert, who after retiring founded a nonprofit that helps underprivileged children. Maria, who switched careers in her 50s to become a life coach. Their stories remind us your purpose is not dictated by age, but by your willingness to pursue what matters to you. The only deadline. There is a famous quote by George Eliot. "It is never too late to be what you might have been." Think about that. What might you have been? That person is still inside you, waiting. The only real deadline in life is the final one. And as long as you're breathing, as long as your heart is beating, that deadline has not passed. The journey of life isn't about reaching a final destination of having arrived. It is about the walking. It is about the seeking. If you feel that nudge, that whisper, that dream you buried long ago, it's not too late. Dig it up, dust it off, take one small step towards it today. Not because you need to be the best, but because you owe it to yourself to be fulfilled. Your new beginning starts now. It's never too late. Your purpose is waiting, ready for you to find it. Today is the perfect day to start, to dream, to take that first step. Because the most important journey of all is the one towards becoming the best version of yourself. And that journey begins now. What is one thing you've always wanted to do? Start today. Thank you for watching. If this video resonated with you, please like and subscribe for more journeys into the human experience. See you in the next video.